Hi, and welcome back. For all those who actually watch. So this video is actually going to be a little different than my normal ones, which is basically, you don't really see me. It's more me talking, not really talking, just music in the background and then going through it. This one I'm really excited about because it's about my favorite books right now. And I love reading. I always have since I was little. Always went to the library, always got books with my dad. Like, one of my favorite pastimes was when my dad would actually take me to the library and he'd let me pick out a couple books. He had a little library card. The very first government issued anything I got was a library card, so I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to it. So I thought I would share my top 5 books right now. So I've read a lot of these actually a couple years ago, and then I recently picked them back up. So the first one I'm going to tell you guys about is called Beautiful Disaster. See, that's the cover. And it's by McGuire. She does have the POV of the male character in here in a different book. Well, as a different book. But this one's basically about a young college student who's had a bit of a past. Not really her, but her family's past. So she's trying to get away from it, and then she meets this big, rough, tough man in college who also has had kind of a rough past, but is still kind of trying to work through it. So they both are, and I kid you not, is one of the most romantic and amazing books I've read. I love it so much. So basically, the girl is this goody two-shoes. Her name's Abby Abernathy. Basically, she's trying to get away from her past. Whereas Travis Maddox, the one who she ends up falling for, is trying to actually, I guess, come to terms with his past, and he's a fighter more than anything, which actually is what he does in the book. He fights. And so basically they have this like tug of war, all this chemistry going on. They get together, they break up, they get together. And it's honestly a really good book with a great plot line. It really pulls you in within the first chapter, so I really do recommend it. So this is the first recommendation. The second book is actually part of I have my degree in history, my bachelor's in history, and my professor for my final class of my degree had us read this book. It's called Souvenir. It's a cute little book. It has Eiffel Tower, so that's really why I like it. It's by Rolf, and it really is more like a book that you can read about souvenirs, what they mean, where they came from, what the term came from. So it's like, it's a really good educational book, but it also has like so many good little lessons through it and so much information, and there's different little souvenirs that he talks about throughout here from his collection, from other people's collection. It's honestly really good. I really like it. So it's a good book. It's a short read, honestly. Like, look at this, see? It's a very short read. Whereas this one's thick and big. This one is short and small, so it's great. I would honestly recommend this if you're going on a flight, a quick flight or something like that. Great book. My next one is actually something that my boyfriend bought me for Valentine's Day. He knows I love to read. He let me go to Barnes & Noble. I picked out my top 5, and then he decided which ones he was going to get me. But the one he really liked happened to be in the clearance basket, which I was surprised at how good it is. It's called You'll Get Through This. See, this is the cover. And it's by Max Lucado. So basically, it talks about like how to get through things and the different steps. So it's not really like it's kind of a how-to, but not really. It also talks about people through the Bible and how they got out of like their trials and tribulations and how they depended on God and kept their faith strong. But it's more or less, it's like a lesson for you to learn. Like, I've been through a lot in my life. I'm still dealing with some of the things I've gone through in the last year. And this book really did help. It showed that at the end of every tunnel, at the end of every tribulation, there is that bright light. You are going to get through it. It just takes time. Everyone takes their own specific time. They grieve differently. They face challenges differently. It's all on you. It's your timing. That's all. You can get through it. So recommend this if you're going through a hard time or even if you just need a good read. It's honestly like, it's a good read. Again, it's a pretty short read. It's only like, let me see how many pages. It's 210 pages. That's not that long. But yeah, and it has great stories from the Bible, so good stuff. My next two, they go together. There's actually, I think there's like 4 of these books. So let me look real quick. Let me check. What is this one? Is it in the front? I think there's like 4 of these actually. Doesn't say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 4 of these. I've only read through 2, and I'm going to get the 3rd one this week, so I'm excited. So the first one is called Written in Bread by Anne Bishop. If you are into werewolves and vampires and things like that, this is going to be an excellent read for you. It follows this psychic, I guess you could say. It's called a Cassandra Sangu. I don't know if I pronounced that right. But basically, she's a blood prophet. And so in order for her to see visions or to see the future, she has to cut her. Like, people have to cut her, or they have to do a precise cut. So it makes them very powerful, and it also makes them worth a lot of money. So basically, she escapes her taker, who basically is killing them all. So, escapes her taker, goes into, like, this other land, meets a werewolf, meets some vampires. Like, it's a really good book. So the storyline behind, I'll read the back of it because, like, I'm not going to, if I go into it too much, I'm going to give away everything. Yeah. And it's only like $8. So it says, as a Cassandra Sagu, whatever, or blood prophet, Meg Corbin can see the future when her skin is cut. A gift that feels more like a curse. Meg's controller keeps her enslaved so he can have full access to her visions. But when she escapes, the only safe place Meg can hide is at the Lakeside Courtyard, a business district operated by the others. The others are basically vampires, wolves, falcons, birds, like people who can shapeshift. So, shapeshifter Simon Wolfgard, he's a wolf, last name, is reluctant to hire the stranger who inquires about the human liaison job, right? First, he senses she's keeping a secret, and second, she doesn't smell like human prey. Yet, stronger instincts propel him to give Meg the job. That's the blood prophet, yeah. Pretty sure I said that. And when he learns the truth about Meg and that she's wanted by the government, he'll have to decide whether she's worth the fight between human and others that will surely follow. Such a good book. I promise you will not regret reading this one. The second one is called Murder of the Crows. Now this one, I just finished it actually. This one hooked me so quickly, like so much quicker than the other one. I absolutely love this one, right? So, I think this would probably, no. Beautiful Disaster is my number 1 book that I will always go to over and over to read and read and read. This one would probably be number 2, and then the other one's number 3. So, basically, this follows Meg Corbin still. My camera just went out of focus. Follows Meg Corbin again, and basically crows are being murdered, like the title says. But the way they're being murdered is so, like, weird. The humans are basically poisoning them, and then if you, like, eat it or inject yourself with it, then bada bing, bada boom, like, humans turn savage and crazy and, like, end up killing each other and killing off others and other things like that. So it gets pretty crazy in this one. So, if you want to read, like, if you basically have time to read and you actually want to, I would recommend reading the series first, and then read this one, and then you can read the other POV of Travis Maddox, and then if you're going on a flight, I'll read this one. If you're going through a hard time, read this one, talk to somebody, I promise you. Back to this book. I'll read the back. As a human residing among the others of the Lakeside Courtyard, Meg Corbin, do you remember her, should be barely tolerated prey, but her abilities as a blood prophet make her something more. The appearance of 2 addictive drugs has sparked violence between the humans and the others in nearby cities. So when Meg has a dream about blood and black feathers in the snow, Lakeside's shape-shifting leader, Simon Wolfgard, There he is again. Wonders whether their blood prophet dreamed of a past attack or of a future threat. Now the others and the handful of humans residing there must work together to stop the man bent on reclaiming their blood prophet and stop the danger that threatens to destroy them all. I promise you, when you read this, you're going to be so shocked because it drops you off in this book, and then you pick up back in this one, and I promise you, it like shocks you. It's like, oh, I did not see that coming. But it's a good book. So these are my top 5 books. I do recommend them. I also think that reading is just good for you. It helps to develop your vocabulary better. It basically allows you for the imagination to escape to another world when things like just aren't, when you just need a break. It also helps you to deal with things when the only way you can convey yourself or really talk about anything is like you read a book. It helps to convey what you're feeling, and then you can finally talk about it because now you understand, well, yeah, that's what I felt, you know? So, I don't know. If you would like to start reading, hey, here's some good book recommendations. If you don't, it's fine. But also, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.